The Berlin Wall stood for 28 years, 2 months, and 26 days. It was 96 miles long. It had 302 watchtowers. At least 140 people died trying to cross it. It divided a city, a country, a continent, and a world. And it came down because of a press conference gaffe. Günter Schabowski, a Communist Party spokesperson, was handed a note about new travel regulations right before facing the cameras on November 9, 1989. The new rules were meant to be announced the following day, with proper procedures in place. Schabowski hadn't been at the meeting where this was decided. He didn't know. When a journalist asked when the new travel freedoms would take effect, Schabowski looked at his notes and said, "Immediately, without delay." As Germans flooded the checkpoints. Guards, with no orders, no guidance, and crowds that kept growing, stood down. People began climbing the wall, and the symbol of the Cold War started crumbling under hammers and bare hands. Now imagine Schabowski reads his notes correctly. These regulations will take effect tomorrow through proper channels. The crowd disperses. The moment passes. In the weeks that follow, the East German government, sensing the pressure, tries controlled reform. Like China after Tiananmen Square, which happened just months earlier in 1989, the Communist Party cracks down hard but promises economic liberalization. It works for a time. The wall stands. And here's what that means. German reunification, which happened in October 1990 in our timeline, doesn't happen. Germany remains divided into the 1990s, possibly the 2000s. The most economically powerful nation in Europe is half a country. The European Union, in our timeline, was deeply shaped by a unified Germany at its center. Without reunification, the EU's development is slower, weaker, more contested. The euro may still happen, but a divided Germany changes the political math significantly. Here's the geopolitical cascade. Without the Berlin Wall falling, the broader collapse of Eastern European communism in 1989 loses its symbolic anchor. Poland, Hungary, Czechoslovakia, all of which were already liberalizing, may continue. But the dramatic, rapid, wall-to-wall fall of communism that happened between 1989 and 1991, it moves slower. The Soviet Union itself, does it still collapse? Gorbachev's reforms were accelerating regardless. But without the wall falling as a symbol of the system's failure, hardliners may have more political cover to push back. The August 1991 coup attempt may succeed. You're looking at a world where the Cold War extends, potentially, into the mid to late 1990s. Here NATO doesn't expand. Here the European project stalls. And here's the human cost. 16 million people in East Germany continue living under surveillance, restriction, and economic stagnation for another decade or more. Now here's the fascinating economic counterpoint. Reunification was extraordinarily expensive. Germany spent an estimated $2 trillion over 20 years integrating East Germany. Some German economists argue that reunification actually slowed Germany's economic growth in the 1990s. In the alternate timeline, West Germany, without that burden, may be wealthier in the short term. But the moral cost, the human cost, the political freedom of 16 million people, delayed by a decade because one man read his notes correctly. History turned on a press conference gaffe, and we should never forget the systems that kept that wall up were dismantled not by armies, but by people, by crowds, by 5 individuals who showed up at a checkpoint and refused to leave. What if then would subscribe? Because freedom was never free. Someone always paid for it.